I don't want to be a mech potato, so I'm going to learn from Old Bob. He's going to teach me what I need to know. So everyone, let's go.
Welcome back, Mech Warriors. This is Old Bob 10025 with Old Bob's Mech Potato Time Episode 4, the Skill Tree Edition. Now, I'm going to do 2 to 3 videos about the skill tree. For the first part, it's very daunting for a new player to get into the game, and so without any type of explanation about what's going on, why the skill tree is actually made, and different aspects to that nature, even the vets are having problems with the skill tree. Making some rookie mistakes, they're doing different things they shouldn't do, and they're quitting because they can't figure out how to actually navigate it and what to do. So try to actually do for the new players that are out there. It's the vets. If you guys get some ideas, cool. Thank you for watching too if you don't, and I do appreciate that as well, my friends. So the first video is going to be mainly to describe what the skill points are, general XP, historical XP, and everything else, and go over like the patch notes, and then go from there, like pretty much. And then also it's going to be why they did it, pretty much, and then also how it affects you in gameplay. And I'll give some examples and everything else. The second video is going to be more about I'm going to show you what the skill tree is like. And how to navigate it, pretty much, because it is it's very daunting for new players. I know if I was a new player and I didn't actually watch anything about it, I would actually just go, yeah, I'm gonna go play some League of Legends or something, or go play some other type of game that's really simple. And what the skill tree has to offer for you as well. The third video I'm going to be going into more of theory crafting. So kind of like what are best for assaults, lights, and everything else about the, and plus how to really navigate it and what the bonuses are and everything else, what you should take, what you shouldn't take, and all the node paywalls that you have to go through and everything else. That's what I'll also go through as well. I'm gonna try to make these about 16 to 30 minutes each. Hopefully, I didn't want to do one big video because I know it's a pain in the ass to go watch them, and you guys have better things to do than go and have your ramblings about the skill tree. So. Okay, so let's get to the skill tree itself. Okay, here's the new skill tree, and the reason why they actually did the skill tree, the other one was atrocious, and basically it provided almost nothing. One of the skills actually did nothing because they never got around to actually putting it into play, into the game itself. But mainly it's, like I said, to provide a greater depth and control to the player of customization specializations of their mechs, which it kind of does. I'll go over later about why and all that kind of stuff, but it does actually specify certain things. Now, you have to pick, you have 91 points, skill points to go ahead and use on your mech, of a whole big different types of skill trees, different skills, nodes, and everything else, and I'll go into those like later as well. But it does create customization. So I built a lot of light mechs that have more of a scouting mission type thing. They're mainly used for scouting and like information technology, because now I could actually run a support mech and wouldn't be actually that bad to go and use those types of mechs. And now I also run a AMS mech, a AMS Gift Fox, and a Nova, and they're mainly done for support. And I have a lot of different types of nodes specifically designed for those types of things. And it got rid of the progression walls seen under the previous skill system, which was crap, of having rule of 3 variants. So basically, you have 3 different levels. You got to master 3 mechs at the basic, 3 mechs at the expert, and then you can master the elites, and then you get something special like at the end. It was just a crappy system. I don't know why they actually did it, but they did it, and a lot of people couldn't actually understand how that worked. But now you only can have, now you can do like 1 type of mech if you want to. You don't have to buy 3 mechs of the same thing, or the same type of like variants. You only have 1 if you like that type of build, or like that type of say customization for that mech. You just liked it, boom, you got only 1 mech. You don't have to spend any more points for those mechs themselves. Now I understand why they did that, so change is good for any type of game system. Granted, I have some thoughts about this, good and bad, but I would say change is really good for MechWarrior Online. It definitely needed it, especially the new change coming out in the new patch next month. I believe it's the Civil War. And they're going to have new weapons for the Intersphere and clans, so that actually works out pretty well. And like they say here, a skill node is within a skill class, say firepower, defense, or something like that. That's a skill node. Locked skill nodes is you haven't actually spent any skill points to unlock that node. And then active or inactive, depends on if you actually have active or inactive. That's pretty easy to go ahead and do. And basically, this is what it looks like when it's active. It glows blue. When it's inactive, it has, just a little border on it, and then when it's locked, it has a little locked padlock thing there. So in order to go and unlock one of these, you need to spend 1 skill point, which I'll go over just a little bit about how to go and open this up. like it says down here, skill points are used to go and open up the locked nodes that you go ahead and purchase those to open them up. General skill points can be used for any type of mech you want, whatever it is. Historical skill points are made for the older vets that actually been playing for a little bit to go ahead and have historical skill points used within that class of mech. Say like a Locust, I think it has like 7 different types of things, which I have them all, and then basically I use those historical skill points used for any of those types of mechs. Now the maximum mech that can have is 91 active skill points at one time. Now the way they actually go and get your skill points, which are used to unlock nodes, you have to use XP, which is experience points. Every game you get a certain amount of experience points for the mech and general XP to go purchase for your skills for your mech. So on an average match, you could probably get about 1,200 XP for that mech, and then for GXP, probably about 100 and 120, like around there or something. I don't know the exact math on that, but the GXP can be used for anything, but the XP is only specific for the mech itself. So when every game you play, you progress in your mech to go and use those XP for that mech. And you also get GXP used for any type of mechs you have inside your stable. Now, as this is for the more of the new players, I won't go over for the refund like ledger, because you probably doesn't even have that. You might have something if you played, let's say like a year ago, you got some type of stuff. This is what you'll see when you actually have the refund like ledger. It'll have an item breakdown of GXP, XP, and then how much C bills you get for certain modules and different things for your mechs. Now, if you had the mechs before the May 16th, you actually get something called skill points used for that mech itself. So if you mastered that mech, you have 91 free skill points with that mech to go and use on your mech skills when you go ahead and have that. Now, this is all daunting for a new player, trust me. Once you actually play with this for a little bit, I mean, literally, like, it took me like 1 or 2 mechs, and I go, oh, okay, that's how that works, and this is how, this is how that works. It's really easy to get used to this. Like, I do probably about 4 or 5 mechs a day, just kind of figure out what I want to do with them, and then actually go on from there and play a little bit, play like 1 or 2 games each mech, and kind of tweak it just a little bit to go ahead and for my liking for that mech itself. Either I'll do a full respec. Respec just means you just dump all skills, and then also or I'll just tweak like 1 or 2 skills or 5 skills or something like that and put them to something else that I think will be a lot better for the mech that I'm actually designing this for. So let's say a Hunchback 4J, which is a missile mech. Obviously, I'll pick all the missile firepower nodes, and if I need to get range or need to get cooldown, or if I'm overheating a lot, then I'll dump cooldown and get heat gen or something like that. And that's basically what I do for my mechs. I do about 4 to 5 a day, and I have a stable about 139, 49 around there. I forgot like what I have, but I got a lot. So it takes me a little bit to go and get them done. But everyone's flipping out about how many clicks they got to do and everything. Just do 2 a day, 2 to 3 a day. Do the ones you use all the time, because I mean, out of those 130, 40 mechs I have, I literally only use maybe about 20 of them. The rest are just kind of like, I got them in a stable. I had them, and I haven't sold them yet. But that's what you got to do in order not to get overwhelmed in the game itself. Same thing for new players is, you'll have your 4 mechs with the 4 mech bays you do have. If you purchase more mech bays, obviously you're gonna get more mechs. And so just do it like gradually. Just don't jump into it and go, I gotta respect everything. I have to put all these skill points like everywhere. Don't do that. Just go ahead and design your mech the way you want to do it. Play with it a little bit, and then you'll be able to go ahead and have a mech that you actually like and go play inside the game itself. Like I said before, the refund from like consumables, the MC consumables, the skill points from the modules, the C bills from the modules, that's different stuff. This is mainly designed for the new player itself. Refund for pilot tree, nodes, and breakdown of if you have the full amount of your mech already mastered and everything, this would be 91 skill points, and each one gives fast fire gives 10, pinpoint gives 5. So they had to do this kind of thing to go ahead and have this done. Okay, so we're gonna get to the skill tree economy. Now, to purchase a skill node, obviously first you need to acquire a skill point using a combination of either C bills and XP. If you have any legacy skill points from a refund ledger, which is all the stuff here, all the stuff I already went through there, in the form of GSP or H historical skill points, you can use these instead of spending any C bills or XP. Now, 1 skill node equals 1 skill point. Obviously, that's pretty self-explanatory. If you want to purchase a skill point, it costs you 45,000 C bills and 800 XP of any single type. So what that means is, generally, just like I said, in one match, you could probably get about 1,200 on a decent match, or for a new player, T5 or a Tier 4 player. 45,000 C-bills, no problem. You'll probably get 150,000, maybe 100,000 depending. And XP, you could probably get 1 to 2 skill points already done. So you have two skill points right there. Now to deactivate a skill node, which you just click it off and then you want to use for something else, costs you nothing. To reactivate that skill node, once you save and you want to change your build, it will cost you 400 XP. Unlocked, which you already purchased. You could activate, deactivate, do whatever you want to it, just that one. But if you once you deactivate it and then press save and then want to get it again later on, it will cost you 400 XP of your Mech XP or GXP, the ones you get through the matches themselves. Okay, generally through the game itself, like I said, you get XP for your Mech, you get general XP for your just playing the game. You can use for any type of Mech you want to have as generic XP. And then historical XP, you probably won't get that for the game itself. That's actually designed for something else. And then your C-bills, they'll show you exactly how many C-bills like you have. Now, when you click on this, on the purchase skill points or use available skill points, the available skill points is for the vets. So just like I said, it's for the mech potatoes like out there. This will teach you like a little bit different things that are out there. I would have a lot, of the general skill points or historical skill points. Now there's two different versions, like I said before. General skill points, historical skill points, and XP, and general XP, historical XP. So there's two different classes. Now when you click on either one of these two, it'll show up a little screen like this. But like I said, this is only for when you have skill points already done. You could use it for the mech. So prime example will be the Warhammer Black Widow. You want to use your general skill points after you spend your XP for the general skill. I know this is so confusing. This is so confusing. It sucks. Believe me, I know it does, but just bear with us there. PGI, I don't know what the hell you're doing, but yeah, okay. So when you use XP to gain general skill points, like I explained up before, you use this window here to skill point migration for skill points to place it on your mech itself. So in this perfect example, 14,378, that's how much he has. You could turn all those into that, or you could use historical skill points, which are from your variants and everything else, to use towards your general for your skill points for that mech itself. So if you already mastered your mech before, you can now have 91 skill points. Okay, let's get out of here. Okay, so in order to purchase skill points, here we go. Let's get out of here. Oh boy. Okay, in order to purchase skill points, you have mech experience points, which are ones you get through the matches. General XP, which you also get through the matches, but not as much as Mech XP. Mech XP is specific to that mech. General XP is general XP used for anything, and you can use that towards this. So, and then historical experience points, the same thing. So let's get out of here. Let's get to the formula. So once we have the formula done, okay, let's see if I get to this here. Here we go. Okay, the formula, basically, like I said before, one skill point equals 45,000 C-bills or 800 XP of any type, and one skill point equals one skill point node. Okay, what respect means is you're going to deactivate all your nodes. We're up the beginning part of the video. You're going to deactivate everything. But you already purchased, like let's say you already have 91 skills or nodes already done. You deactivate them all. They're still unlocked. They don't have the little padlock symbol. You're going to deactivate it, and that's a full respect. Meaning you could click those again if you want to, but it will cost you 400 XP to reactivate that one if you save it. So, and then the individual node respect, instead of performing a full respect for your whole tree, you can deactivate individual skill nodes by clicking an active node you wish to deactivate. To commit your changes, then hit apply changes. No cost is associated with deactivating individual skill nodes. Now, that's basically how that works. In the second video, I'll go more into what that is and how that works and everything. But just watch this video, and then you'll understand in the second video how this works. I know it's daunting, my friends, but just once you play around with it for a little bit, you get to know exactly what's going on. Now, the skill trees or node trees, they're actually done kind of like a web. And so basically, they have the firepower skill tree. They got let's go down here, survival skill tree. I'll go over, which is very good for lights, by the way. Very, very good. Jump jets, if you want to have extra jump jets. Operations. They got sensors. And they got auxiliary, which is consumables, which are like UAVs or airstrikes. So let's go up here to the firepower tree. Let's go up here. Okay, so here we go. Okay, Firepower tree contains all weapon-specific and universal weapon skills. The skills in this tree will unlock the maximum potential of firepower capabilities. Now, for me, I'll go more in the third video, but for me, this is my last tree I actually spend my points on. The main reason is all the other trees I see more benefits than actually having the firepower tree. The firepower tree is nice and everything. I mainly use it only for the missile ones. I only get the missile ones, but I have to say, for me personally, I only use that last for a simple reason. All the other trees are so much better at making your mech survive than actually having firepower. But I'm more of a type of defensive player, so it's a little bit different for me. If you're more of an aggressive player, probably firepower would be the best thing for you. Let's go over the tree here. Okay, so all these are locked, obviously. Now, when they have they have range. In order to take everything, you don't have to take weapon skill or weapon specific skills like Gauss charge or LBXs or UAC jams, Gauss charges, or even laser duration. So they made it that way because we all bitched about it for so long on the forums and everything else, and over a couple months we made them actually do something like this. It should have been linear, but I understand why they did it as well. So in order to take your first cooldown, you need to take it all the way down here, which will be 4. So basically you have to click 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'll go more in the second video about how to navigate and everything. That's the firepower. So they have range, cooldown, heat gen, velocity. They have laser duration, missile rack, missile spread, missile explosive, which is more crit chance, and missile rack 2. Then also have the magazine capacity, UAC jam chance, LB spread chance, magazine Gauss charge, UAC jam. So when you pick these, you have to figure out what type of way you want your skills to go and be, and how you want to achieve those. So if you want to have a bigger Gauss, not a bigger Gauss, yeah, everyone wants a bigger Gauss, right? When you want to have a Gauss cooldown for your Gauss charge, which is nice, if you have these two nodes, which are this one and this one, it's going to bring it down by 1% because it's 0.05. So each one's going to be 0.05 to bring your cooldown for the weapon by 1 point or 1%. You could also, these are all universal too, to let you know. So the range works for ballistic, missile, and lasers. Cooldown, same thing. Heat gen, same thing. Everything works for exactly the same thing. Now, the only thing that doesn't work for lasers, obviously, is velocity. So velocity is mainly done for missiles and ballistics, not for lasers, obviously. And laser duration is only made, obviously, for lasers, like PPCs and everything else. So that's what that does. Actually, not the PPCs. I believe it's not for the PPCs. I might be wrong. Let me know, guys, in the notes themselves. So the range, the heat gen, the velocity, the cooldown, it's a universal tree built for universal weapons. And they did this because in the first tree, what they did, they actually had it where, all lasers is one side, all this is that side, and all this is that side. Didn't work out too well. Everyone didn't like it. So that I understand why they did it, though. So that's a good thing. Okay, so cooldown increases the cooldown efficiency of all weapons. So let's say your cooldown is 10. Okay, just a perfect example. And you have 10%, brings down by 1, so it brings down to 9%. Heat gen decreases the amount of heat gen generated by all weaponry. So every time you fire the weapon, perfect example, you have 10. If it's 10, you have 10%, brings down by 1. Range increases the range of all weaponry. So that's ballistic, lasers, and then also and plus missiles. So it increases the range of everything. Now they did bring the missiles down to 900 from 1,000. That's understandable. I don't mind that. That's not too bad. Now, the velocity increases the ballistics profiles of, increases the velocity of ballistic projectiles, missiles, and PPC fires. Same thing. 10% give you 10% faster, faster speed for your weapons themselves, which isn't too bad. I kind of like that. Laser duration decreases the duration of time required before a laser deals its full amount of damage. This is really good because the clan weapons have increased laser duration for the lasers that they fire. So it takes longer to do the full amount of damage. Intersphere doesn't. So basically, this is really good for Intersphere mech, and also it's good for clan mechs as well. High explosive increases the amount of critical damage dealt if a missile causes a critical hit. So the maximum you get is, I think, a 15%, and so this is really good, a really good build for any type of missile mechs. You want to definitely have high explosive rounds or high explosive skills. Missile rack provides extra missiles. Missile spread reduces missile spread. I don't know if you actually played the BattleTech board game, but on the BattleTech board game, you roll, say you roll you find an LRM-20, you roll 2 dice to see how many missiles hit, and that's basically what it does. This will probably actually reduce the chance you're going to have less missiles hit, so that's what it does. It reduces the spread. Gauss charge, the amount of time your Gauss can maintain a full charge. Obviously, that's pretty self-explanatory. LBX reduces the spread of LBX projectiles. Kind of like a choke on a shotgun. That's what that does. UAC jam chance, ultra autocannon, reducing the chance of an ultra autocannon jam. Now, for inner sphere, a lot of the mechs have negative 40%, and if you do have a negative 40% on your mech for inner sphere, take this. It's going to only increase it by 5%, but that 5% might save you in the long run. Magazine capacity increases the extra ballistic ammo per ton. So certain mechs, like say like a machine gun, will have a plus 200. If you have 2 of them, be plus 400 per ton that you go and take of ammo. So you don't have to take that much more ammo in order to have a lot more rounds. And the time to kill any mech now in the game is designed so you have to take magazine capacity or take a lot of rounds for that. Otherwise, you will run out of ammo. Now, for the Intersphere and clans, they needed to actually have some type of balance to it, and I think they did a pretty good job on this. Now, the Intersphere for the cooldown, the total null values, if you take everything, is negative 12%. For clans, is negative 9.6. And they did that to have some type of balance resembling to it. And the cooldown for the Intersphere for each node is negative 0.075%, compared to the clans is 0.60%. So basically, it comes out to negative 12 and negative 9.6. They did that so basically, clans have to have some balance for it, and this is one of the things they're going to balance with later on in the future patches. They will have more to that, but right now this is what they can do, which it's a band-aid, which is, that happens, I guess. And then same thing with laser duration. They give the inner sphere a little bit more, negative 15% compared to negative 10% if they take them. So each node that you pick for inner sphere, negative is 3.75 compared to the clans 2.50. And the same thing with the ballistics and everything else. The inner sphere versus the clans and all that kind of stuff, they have plus 6, but of course the clan autocannons and the clan AC-10s plus 6 compared to plus 2. The clans have better, magazines and that kind of stuff. That's what that does. They have better magazine capacity skills. They can fit more rounds or something inside their magazines. Okay, survivability. So this is like one a lot of people take. If you're an Atlas or Assault Mech, I highly suggest you get this because it will make you very, very tanky. Make you like one of the coolest guys in the block with the biggest stick. And that's basically what this will do. Make you survive a lot longer. Now with this skill tree, it actually added time to kill. So basically games are a lot longer. So you will get more XP. Which that was kind of ingenious what they did, actually. You'll get more XP and more skills or more XP, more C-bills and everything else because you're living longer in the game itself. So survival tree, which is right here. Let's go click it here. Reinforced casing, like shock absorbance. Now a lot of times what they did also too, they have AMS overload, which is anti-missile system like overload. You can bypass all those. You don't have to take those, and that's what they did with the skill tree here. So you can take like this and go around the AMS, and then also go like this. So you don't have to take the AMS like overload unless you have an AMS type mech. Armor structure tree will help you ensure you stay in the fight as long as possible, which does work. Now for the assault mechs, like I said, perfect. Medium mechs, you can use it. It's not going to be as effective. But I have to say, though, for the assaults, it's very effective. Now, the reinforced casing, which is the first one, reduces the chance of taking a critical hit, just like the missile increases the chance of them taking a critical hit. This will reduce the chance of you taking a critical hit. Now, I know the Atlas, I forgot which one it is, the 7S or something like that, has a reduced chance, I think like 10 or 20%. I'm not sure about that. But, wow, this will add on to it, so it'll take less damage from a critical hit than like anything else. Shock absorbance. Reduces the amount of damage taken when falling from a height. Yeah, it's okay. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but if you want to have it, everything, you got to have it. AMS overload increases damage in your anti-missile system if equipped. So it'll increase the damage of different missiles being hit. So like normally, let's say a missile can take 3 points. Your anti-missile system can do 6 points and knock out 2 of them. This will probably add onto it, make about 9, so knock out 3 of them. That's pretty much just a generalization like what that does. Skeletal density increases your amount of internal structure, and armor hardening increases your amount of armor. Now, the what it does for your skeletal density, if you're a 20-ton mech, it gives you 41% if you have the complete thing, and 40% if you're 25 tons, 95 if you're 26 tons, and 25% if you're 100 tons. Now, play with this inside the mech lab, and basically figure out how much tons you like at the beginning, because I'll go to another video, my second video, exactly how that works and everything. Armor hardening, same thing. Per node values, 4.1, 4.0, 2.6, 2.5. So, and that's basically what that does. So it gives you more armor, more structural density for your internal structure. That means you probably won't take any more hits or critical hits, hopefully, depending on what type of mech you're using. And then armor hardening gives you more armor, and that's pretty much how this works. So basically, the time in the vent or time in game will be a lot longer. So mobility. This has a lot of different things. I'm not going to get into the decoupling of the engines a little bit, because that's a little bit too complicated for new players to play or go and do. But it will ensure the mech can navigate the battlefield and react to oncoming enemy fire with maximum efficiency. Yeah, okay. Basically, this gives you better movement of your torso twist. You can go up and down like with your mech torso. You can twist further on your torso. Anchor turns, you can turn better. Speed tweak, increase your top speed. So kinetic burst, that increases your acceleration rate. So you actually accelerate a lot faster. Hard brake, obviously deceleration rate. Torso, you increase the maximum amount your mech can twist its torso. So that means you can kind of like when you do those I don't know, like sideways. God, how do I explain it? Like the sideways like movement when you go back and forth. Same thing. That's what that does. You can just do it further. Torso pitch increases the pitch of your mech's torso up and down. Now, torso speed is one of the things a lot of people are having for their mechs themselves, because the clans, they got nerfed on that because they're engine decoupling. And so a lot of clans have to spend a majority of their points just in mobility to get what they halfway were before. And that's another video for that. Torso speed increases speed. No, okay, obviously went over that. Anchor turn increases the turning speed of your mech. That means for a light mech, it's really good to have this for a simple reason. When you're actually going between buildings and darting between buildings, trying to lose a mech that's on your ass, use this, and basically you could twist and turn a lot better. Speed tweak, obviously speed tweaking. Now, let's see, weight class difference, torso speed. Inner spring clans, there you go, and that tells you exactly how much per node will actually give you. So that's not too bad. Jump jets. Oh god, I don't know what to tell you about this one. A lot of people don't use this because a lot of people just use the normal jump jets that they have, and it's not too bad. If you're using a Pop-Tart mech, this will probably be your best bet. You go and use those. Heat shielding, reduce the amount of heat generated while jumping. Every time you jump in a mech, it actually it increases your heat. So if you notice, like when you play the game, you start jump jetting and you're firing like crazy, you will actually start heating, like overheating, use your jump jets. This reduces the amount of heat generated while jump jetting. Fin calibration increases the burn time of your jump jets. You can jump obviously farther. Vector increases the forward thrust provided by your jump jets. I don't know if that's pretty useful. Let me know, everyone, if you actually use this inside game, because I really haven't played much with it. Lift speed increases the amount of inertial boost provided by your jump jets. Okay, quick ignition is really good for a simple reason. You will overheat, and quick ignition will actually it will make it quicker for you to boot back your system. Every time you go above your heat scale, your quick ignition, what that does, when you shut down, normally it'll, I forgot what the exact numbers were for it, but basically you'll upstart your engine once again quicker, instead of going, okay, I'm starting my engine now, and that's basically what it will do. Improved gyros reduce the amount of screen shake. Every time you get hit by, say, by ballistic fire and missiles, it will reduce the screen shake. Now, if you actually navigate the tree, you will hit a lot of improved gyros. So basically, this is just part of the node wall that they actually set up for that. So basically, you will get that pretty much almost for free if you put a lot of points into improved gyros. Speed retention retains mech speed after being laid. A lot of people don't take this. It doesn't really matter. Once you're laid, you're pretty much boo food. You're boo food like crazy. So that's not a skill that a lot of people take. I really don't recommend it for a simple reason. It's a waste of a skill point for 91 skill points. Heat containment increases the maximum heat threshold before your mech shuts down. So let's say you're at 20 heat and you have a lot of heat containment, brings up to 25. You'll now shut down at 25 instead of 20. That's just an example. That's not a factor in like in it. Hill climb, that's also part of the node paywall to go and get through the different things. You'll get hill climb. A lot of people won't take it on purpose because it really doesn't matter, especially jump jet mechs. They don't really give a crap about that, about hills. But assault mechs, heavy mechs and stuff like that, you probably want to, if you got skill points left over, yeah, go and use it if you can. Cool run increases your heat dissipation efficiency. When you overheat in the mech itself, and your heat starts going down, kind of like a heat sink. I don't know if well, actually, how I would explain that. It's your cooldown factor. So, like, let's say you are at 100 heats and you only normally, without cool run, you'll bring your heat down from 100 to 90 in 1 second. Just example, you'll bring, if you have a higher cool run, bring it down to 80. So it increases your heat dissipation, or kind of like a, oh god, blowback, or like whatever it's called. I forgot what it's called though, but it'll increase it so you actually you'll cool down quicker, so you actually can fire quicker and do different things. Sensors are your sensor systems of your mech, kind of like your eyes and ears of the battlefield. Target info gathering decreases duration time required for gathering detailed target information from any mech. What that does, on the right hand side, as my other Mech Potato like videos, it shows a paper doll and what the vulnerable component is on the mech itself. So you want to target that. I think normally it's 7 for the target like info gathering, decrease in duration and time. So basically normally it's 7 seconds for it to go on. So if you have target info gathering at +7, bring it down by 7%, so it'll be like, I don't know, like 6 or something, like 6.2. So basically, you'll bring it down so you have a quicker way to go ahead and figure out where to pinpoint your damage to destroy that mech, and that's what target info gathering does. Normally a mech for sensor range, I forgot, I think it's 800. If I'm correct on that, it's 800 meters. Boost the range of sensors. You can figure out what's around you past that, and that'll actually boost your sensor range. Now, I know for the Cyclops has a plus 150%, which is really nice. So basically, you could see a lot further, and the more informational gathering type mechs themselves. Target decay increases the duration of time a mech can be tracked after it leaves a line of sight. Target decay is really nice for missile mechs. For the simple reason is, if they go behind a building or go behind a hill, you will still have a target on that person. So when your stream of missiles is deciding to go hit that person, and they go behind a hill, normally they'll just disappear. But with target decay, you still have a track on them, so more missiles can hit that mech, and by the time your lock it gets off them. Target retention allows retention of target information when the enemy moves behind your mech. This is for when mechs get behind you. I know for light mechs, pain in the ass. They'll get behind you and shoot you in the butt. You have no clue what's going on, except for your little red little thing on your mech shows, hey, you're being hit in the butt, and that's basically what that does. You could see behind you, what the enemy mechs are actually doing. Advanced zoom enables the use of picture-in-picture long-range zoom. Same thing as TV sets. Allows you to actually go and see more of a zoomed-in portion, so you can actually snipe from. A lot of new people actually use sniper just for that. Enable a seismic sensor enables the detection of identification of any mechs via ground vibrations. You must be stationary for this to function. It's very, very good. You must be stopped in order for this to work. A lot of people stop behind a hill, and if they want to actually go behind the hill, they stop, figure out what's around the hill. So there's only one mech. I could go assault that mech and go and do it. Very, very useful. I would have to say, for a lot of scouting mechs, very useful to hide, especially with ECM, if they do have ECM as well. Seismic sensor, don't get into it, but if you have the extra points, spend it and have fun with it. Radar derp reduces the duration time you remain targeted after breaking line of sight against the enemy. Same thing as a target decay. This will break the line of sight, and you'll do it quicker to break the line of sight if you move behind a hill and that kind of stuff. So it goes against target decay as well. Enhanced ECM decreases the maximum range at which a friendly mech being protected by your ECM can be targeted. Now, there's a lot of debate about this. Okay, basically ECM, what this does is, say you have a big bubble, of detection range. So I don't know what the range is. I think it's like 500 or something. The more points you spend into ECM in the node itself to bring down the bubble for people detecting you. That's really good for scout mechs, especially if they have ECM itself. And you just have to go and spin it. It's really worded how they have it here, but that's basically what it does. You still have the 90 the 90-meter range of protecting your friends and everything. But in order for another mech to detect you on their sensors, I think it's like 350, 500, something. I forgot what it was. But the more skills you put into it, it'll reduce the bubble of that they can hit you or go and detect you. So let's say that they have it at 100, and every skill point gives you another 25%, bring it down by 50%. So 500 be 250. This is just an example. So it'll be 250 of what they can detect you at. Instead of 500, this will bring it down to 250. So that's basically what that does, and that's how eSIM kind of works now. It's really good for scout mechs, just like I said. Okay, and so last but not least is the auxiliary tree, which is the UAVs, the cool shots, and the auxiliary strikes. Now, basically, auxiliary strikes or artillery. Sorry. Last but not least is the auxiliary tree, which is the arty strikes or the air strikes, the UAVs, which are kind of eye in the sky, it's like little drones. You go see what's around you, and also gain some CBLs and points and everything. And then also the cool shots. Now, basically, what a UAV, obviously, I said what that is. A arty strike or an air strike is artillery from way far away, like a long tom shooting, and then at a pinpoint area of your target will actually explode and do different things. Airstrike is an airplane that actually fires kind of like a napalm run, kind of like in Vietnam, and that's basically what that does. Now, a lot of people just pick the first one, which has just one extra node, so basically, or one extra consumable slot. So you have like a cool shot and a arty strike, or a UAV and a cool shot, like whatever you want to have for it. That way, you're having 2 slots instead of only 1 that normally comes with the mech. So a lot of people do that because there's only 1 there. So let's go to the tree here. So you could go ahead and have the UAV duration, which lasts longer, range, extra UAV. So you have 2 extra UAV, or you can use up to 2 depending on your slot. So with the 2 slots, you could have two UAVs or 1 UAV and something else. But normally, if you're going to pick this, you're going to have to pick a tree. You have 2 UAVs. Then also the UAV range will also actually have a bigger range for your eye in the sky. Same thing with the advanced salvos, going down, expanded like reserves and enhanced spotting, and then a consumable spot 3. So you have 3. So you have cool shot, a arty strike, and then UAV if you wanted to. Then it goes down to enhanced cool shot, then cool like reserves, and then cooldown. Cool shot, cooldown, then another consumable slot. So there's a lot of slots you can have if you have support mech to go and use. So let's go through these. UAV duration increases the duration of UAV. Your UAV range, obviously. Extra UAV allows you to have an extra one to go and use. Consumes on own slot. Advanced salvos increases the duration of air and arty strikes. Expanded reserves. Excuse me. It enables you to bring an additional strike into the fight, kind of like 2 air strikes. Enhanced spotting increases the accuracy of air strikes by 20%, which pretty much it will reduce the area effect that actually that it's in. Capture assist. Now, capture assist is a little bit different though. For certain games, like say Assault, we have 2 different bases. Now you're able, if you get your mech in there, you have a certain amount of time to capture the base. With this, you have capture assist, which means you get the base a lot quicker, and that's it actually helps out. It's a really good thing to have for light mechs, because a lot of different things, say scouting or doing different other things, like say the getting the base or getting the certain points on the map, you could capture those a lot quicker, which is good. It definitely helps a scouting mech. Enhanced cool shot increases the efficiency cool shot by 25%. Cool and reserves, obviously, unless you have another one. Cool shot, cooldown, and enhanced narc. Enhanced narc is a little bit different. Increases the projectile and its duration of effect, or the velocity. So this is really good for a spider mech. Now, a narc is used for missile mechs, or to help missile mechs actually hit their target. As with radar derp, you're not able to actually hide from a narc. So basically, the missile mech can shoot you even if you're behind a hill, which is very nice. So I fear a good spotter with a narc. I fear those more than I do a freaking Kodiak with 600 like UX2s or something like that. I fear one of those more than that. So that's basically how that works. Now, with all these, do know this is a little bit daunting for the new players, and do know that basically it does take some time to go and learn. I mean, all the YouTubers who actually been making like videos, they still don't know a lot of stuff. I don't know a lot of stuff. I'm still learning as well, just like you as well. But I'm trying to give the new players a guide to actually go and use this. Now, with it's, like I said, it's daunting, even for the vets. They've been quitting. They've been saying, I'm not going to play this game anymore and go do other things. Now, I would say I'm about a 70-30. I'm 70% like it and 30% don't like it. There's a lot of different things I like and don't like, but I'll put that in another video like sometime. But the whole thing is, though, the whole skill tree enables you to actually customize your mech to do what you want to do for the mech on the field of battle. Now, do know this is not Call of Duty, so you actually have to make your mechs to work as a team, work as a tactical team to get your objectives done. Call of Duty, you run around, jump around like a freaking fool, and then hopefully you get some shots. This is completely different than any other type of game you've ever played, and that's what I love about it. So, thank you for watching, my friends. I do appreciate you watching. It's very great to know that you guys are watching the videos. I'm not talking to myself, but I do appreciate you watching. I do these videos, Old Bob's Mech Potato Time, to help out new players coming into the game, because it is a very late, excuse me, wow, high intensive learning curve for the game itself. So it's hard, but once you get to it, once you do about 2 to 3 mechs, you'll get to know how the system works. It's pretty easy to learn, and I'm trying to help you out from there. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the battlefield.